But I kept asking questions because my idea was that I'm on this amazing journey with thousands of people around me, millions of people around me, and I should be asking them, like they should be asking me, what's it all about? Where's this journey taking us? You know, has someone got a roadmap? You know, where's the sat nav? You know.
Det här är Koranen. Nej, så här ska man göra med Koranen. Takbir! Allahu Akbar!
For the sake of knowledge and science. It's okay to break the wall of prevention and ignorance to seek knowledge. Knowledge is as eating. It is the food of the soul. Sometimes a person places himself or is placed in a closed circle by propaganda and the media, and so he will be directed to an intended path, or even placed under siege in order to be domesticated, so he will be exploited for personal utilitarian motives. A human's origin is freedom. So, it is okay to break the restriction and the mental blockade to unlock other worlds that you have been deprived of. For example, blockades and walls are placed on Europeans and the Americans, which denies access to Arab culture and the Quran, in particular, which are the basis of everything, including general principles and civility across the world. The international book that Europeans call the Book of Muslims, which is the Quran. We raise questions about this book. What is the impediment to reading it instead of antagonizing and burning it? Look at it even as a literary book. Why are you afraid of it? It does not bite and does not have a glue that stick it to you. You will just something new. You will add knowledge in order to break the siege and isolation forced on you. The Quran has stories of all lessons, meanings, wisdom, laws, characteristics of the universe, predictions, and more. Look at it, maybe you will add something new to your treasury of knowledge instead of burning it, trampling it, antagonizing it, or cursing it. Open it and look between its lines. It will not drown you or stick to you. Just look up, and when you are done, put it in its place, and you may have gained knowledge or at least a tour. Enmity and hatred are walls of fear and complete darkness covering your being. Instead of hostility, you go round and it's over. Knowledge is pure and sublime. Free yourself from the limitations of knowledge. Don't be afraid of books, they don't stick to your hands. Oh European, books don't stick to hands.
As a Christian, I consider Jesus a prophet, but he's a prophet of the one God. There's not several. As a Christian, I worship Allah. In the Quran, they ask Allah, through Muhammad, how they should pray. And here's one of many creeds in the Quran. We believe in God and in what was sent down to us and what was sent down to Abraham, Ishmael, Isaac, Jacob, and the 12 tribes, and what was given to Moses, Jesus, and all the prophets by the Lord. We make no distinction between any of them, and we devote ourselves to Him in all of them. That's a very inclusive creed. The narrow definers of Judaism sometimes say that the chosen people are the circumcised, and narrow believers in Christianity sometimes say that the chosen people are the baptized. But the Quran says God's chosen people are all the monotheists from the beginning of the creation. And when we think of the succession of prophets, they're given great praise. Muhammad praises Moses. In some ways, the most important prophet before Muhammad, though they're all directly from God, it's Jesus. Jesus is given a bigger accreditation than other prophets. John the Baptist is made a prophet so that he can prophesy Jesus. Mary, his mother, is the only woman named in the Quran. No wife of Muhammad is named. There's no Adam and Eve, there's Adam and spouse. But Mary is not only named, she's made sinless. She conceives Jesus in virgin birth. She is tremendously honored. So one asks, if this is such an inclusive founding document of the religion, what is it that people object to? It's pretty easy to misrepresent Islam because so few have read the Quran. This book I published is a product of my shame. I was embarrassed. After 9/11, I was talking with a group of friends, academic friends, and we were wondering, is this really an Islamic event, the 9/11 attack? And at some point, people asked, well, who here has read the Quran? None of us had. And a friend of mine said, not even you, Gary? I thought you were a student of religion. And I said, yeah, that's the problem. I'm totally ashamed. And so I went and have been trying to repair that stupidity ever since. But I've tried in a lot of venues to ask how many people have read the Quran. Dare I do it now? How many have read the Quran? A minority, certainly. Well, I don't want to shame you, but I do. I think we should all be ashamed. We're throwing our weight around in a world where almost a quarter of the population are Muslims. And not to know, how can you say the Islamic State is a false construct if you don't know what true Islam is? One can only hope that more people will use freedom to do things like read the Quran rather than hate the Muslims.